Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle, and it's called The Polarity Express by Donatello86. And here are the rules. Standard Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row, column, we can get a column here, and 3 by 3 box. Adjacent digits along a green line have a minimum difference of 5. So this is the German whisper rules. So for example, if this were, say, a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9, because the only digits which have a minimum difference of 5 with 3 is specifically 8 and 9. So that's how German whisper rules work. We also have digits on an arrow sum to the value in the attached bulb, but I usually like saying circle because bulb is usually equated with thermometers. So that would mean that these two digits must add up to what this digit is. This digit must add up to what that digit is. These two digits must add up to that digit. So as an example, you could have something like, or actually let's try this one. You could have 3 and 3, and this is 6. And that would work because 3 and 3 add up to 6. And that's how arrows work. We also have digits in dash cages sum to the value in the top left corner. Digits do not repeat in boxes. So for example, these 3 digits must add up to 17, these 3 must add up to 11, these 6 must add up to 28, etc., etc. As an example, let's use 7, 2, and 8. And these 3 digits would add up to 17, so that would fulfill the killer cage rules. These are killer cages. Finally, we have cells separated by a white dot can contain consecutive digits. And this is the white crop key dot rules. So if this were, say, 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7 to make sure that these digits are consecutive. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. So, on German whisper lines, you'll always alternate between low digits and high digits, the low digits being 1 through 4 and the high digits being 6 through 9. Because 1 can only be next to 6, 7, 8, or 9 on a German whisper line. 2 can only be next to 7, 8, 9. 3 can only be next to 8 and 9. And 4 can only be next to 9. So, similarly, 6 can only be next to 1. 7 can be next to 1 or 2. 8 can be next to 1, 2, or 3. And 9 can be next to 1, 2, 3, or 4. Therefore, you'll always alternate between a low digit, 1 through 4, and a high digit, which is 6 through 9. So we're going to mark this as a certain digit. We're going to make that pink. Therefore, the other digits on a German whisper line that are next to it must be the other set. So we're going to mark them as orange. So these are orange. Therefore, if it's on a German, we have 4 of the orange set. Well, there's only 4 digits in each set, so that means the other digits must be either a 5 or the other set. And if you're on a German whisper line, you can never have a 5, because 5, if you subtract 5 from 5, you get 5 or more from 5, you get 0 or less. If you add 5 or more to 5, you get 10 or more. And none of those are a normal Sudoku digit. So these must be pink, which makes these orange, because the oranges must be next to the pink cells, and the pink cells must be next to the orange cells on the German whisper line. Okay. These digits are all low, and it's the digits 1 through 4 to add up to 10, right? So these are all low. These digits all see this digit, so this must be 5 through 9. This would also see all 4 low digits, so this is also 5 through 9 here. These are all low. We have 3 digits here, which add up to 45 minus 28, right? One of these has to be a low, one of these is a high. One of these is a low, and one of them has to be high. In addition, if it's low, it's next to two unique digits on a German whisper line. So it has to be 1, 2, or 3 here. This is 1, 2, or 3 for a low. So one of these is low, one of these is high. Therefore, in row, and these must be 7, 8, or 9 because, oops. These must be 7, 8, or 9 because, again, those two are next to two unique digits that are on a German whisper line. And 4 and 6 can never be there. So we have 4 lows in row 8, right? These two, and one of these two, and one of these two. The remaining digits must be 5 through 9. Well, no matter what, one of these digits here has to be a 5 or 6. If it's 5, it has to be with 5 and 6. If it's 6, it has to be with 6 and 7. So this, no matter what, then, this has to contain a 6. So this can never be 6 here. So it's either 5 and 6 as a pair, or you cannot, if you don't have 5, say we tried to not have 5 or 6, this would be 7, 8, or 9 as a triplet, or sorry, as a pair. You'd have either 7, 8, or 8 and 9, but the problem is one of these digits would have to be 7, 8, or 9, and one of these digits would have to be 7, 8, or 9. And you have 4 digits, four cells which require the digits 7, 8, and 9, which is only 3 digits, so that's not possible. So this must be a 6 here, and it's either with 5 or it's with 7. We're not sure which. Okay. This digit is, well, we don't know. This is a low. So here, okay, so we have to have a 5 in box 9. Where is the 5? It has to be one of these two cells because it cannot be on a German whisper line. So 5 is here, which means this can never be 5. 5 cannot be here. 5 could be any of these 3 in box 3. Let's see. These two, you cannot have 6 and 1 here. Because if you have a 6 here, it has to be with 1. That adds up to 7. Therefore, this digit must be 10 if that's the case, and that's not allowed. So this must be 7, 8, or 9 with 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. If it's 4, it would be with 9, guaranteed, and that adds up to 13. But that would require this digit then to be 4, so this can't be 4 either. So either this is 5, or one of these is 5. That's interesting. Okay, if this is 5, that means this would have to be 5, and therefore neither of these could be 5. If this is 5, that means this is 5, and neither of these could be 5. If either of these are 5, this can never be 5. So this is always a high digit. Actually, it's not always a high digit. We just know this can't be 5. So 5 is either here or it's here. Okay. Because in row 4, where is the 5? It has to be here, here, or here. If this is 5, and neither of these could be 5. If this is 5, that's 5, but neither of these could be 5. If one of these is 5, none of this can never be 5. Okay. 5 is one of these two digits here. So this can never be 5 here. These are also one low and one high digit, right? And we have two low digits here. This is a 4, so this cannot be a 4. One of these is a low digit. One of these is a low digit, and one of them has to be a 4, essentially. Which means either this is 9 or this is 9. Because the 4 must be next to a 9 on a German whisper line. So we have a blue, red, one is low, one is high. One is low, one is high here, right? Because it alternates between high and low. So if this is low, this would be low and that would be high. If this is high, this would be high and that would be low. So we have one of each here. Therefore, the rest of the digits are all high digits. 5 through 9, 5 through 9, 5 through 9. This cannot be 6, though, because of that 6. One of these is a 4, so one of these is a 9 here or here. So this can never be 9 here. Okay. So this adds up to 17 at most. Right, so because 45 minus 28 is 17. If oranges are low, then you cannot have a low in column 6 at all. And therefore, this is at minimum 5, 6, and 7. But 5, 6, and 7 adds up to 18 at minimum, and we know this is 17, period. So therefore, the oranges cannot be lows. They have to be highs. So these are highs. The pinks are all lows. So this is a 1 because it's next to 1, 2, next to 4 unique digits. And they're all high. 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 2, 3, or 4. This is 2, 3, or 4. 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6, 7, 8, 9 here. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, or 4, 5. So this is also 2, 3, or 4, 5. We need at least one low digit here to add up to 17. So this cannot be low. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 also. And it cannot be 6 because we have a 6 in the box. This cannot be 1. So we have 3. Okay, these are low. So one of these is low and one of these is high. So similar to here, we have a low and a high each in each of these cells. So we have 3 lows now in this box, and this is a 4th low, which means this is also 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So one of these is high. How many highs can you have in this cage? Well, we already have 2 lows. You cannot have a 5. You cannot have 3 lows then here. Actually, you couldn't anyways. Right? It's 1, 2, 8, 1, 3, 7, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 8, 1, 3, 7, 1, 4, 6, and everything else requires a 5. Therefore, you need 2 lows here and 1 high. So therefore, you have 2 lows here. 1, 2, 8, 1, 3, 7, 1, 4, 6. And then you could have 2, 3, 6 or 2, 4, 5. But 2, 4, 5 is not allowed because 5 has to be one of these 2 cells. So this is always 2 lows and 1 high. Since these are low and this is a high, this must be a high also. Right? Because we have 4 lows already in column 7. Therefore, this is a low, this is a high. This adds up to 17. Oops, I don't know what I did there. This is 2 lows and a high. We're not sure which, though. There cannot be a 5 there. We have 1 low and 1 high here. Let's see, what else do we have? We need one low here to add up to 17. This is two lows and a high. Okay. These two are consecutive, and this one cannot be 5. So these two are opposite of these two. So we're going to make these both pink, and these are orange. We know there's two lows and one high here. There are two lows in these sets, right? Because this cannot be 5. Obviously, that can't be 5. So these must be the same set. And these must be the same set because they're the opposite of that set. We have two lows here and one high. Therefore, the remaining digits in the box 3 cannot be low. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If this is low, then these two both must be low also. This has to be at least 7, 8, or 9. And this is at least 7, 8, or 9 because it's next to at least a 2. These three add up to 17 also. At least this or one of these two is a high. We're not sure which. This cannot be because we have 4 highs in that box. We have a high here. These two are high. And these two are from 5 through 9. That means we have one digit from 6 through 9, two others, that makes 3, and then two others from 5 through 9. So it's 5 digits, which must contain the digits 5 through 9, which means the other digits in that column are all low. So this is 1 through 4. This is 1 through 4. We now have, this must be a 5, because this is one of 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this cannot be 5 here. And this must be 7, 8, or 9 also, because we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruplet in box 8. So 5 has to be one of these two. 5 is one of these two, so 5 must be one of these 3 here. Because 5 is one of these 3, that means it must have a low. So this is a high. It must be 5 with two other digits adding up to 17. So 17 minus 5 is 12. You either have 3, 9, or it's 4, 8. So this cannot be 2. It's 3, 4, 5 here. This is either 3, 9, or 4, 8 with the 5. To add up to 12. 17 total. 15 here. So 6 has to be one of these two digits, because if it's not 6 here, there is no other place for 6 in column 6. So these cannot be 6. This is a 7, 8, 9 triplet. It cannot be 4 and 9 here, because if this is 4 and 9, that would make this 3, 5, and 8, which does not add up to 17. So there's no 4 here. This is 1, 2, or 3. It could have 6, 7, or 8 here. We know the 5 is here, though. Okay. Where is the 1 in column 6? It has to be here. Therefore, this cannot be 1, which is the same digit as that digit, so this can't be 1. What else do we have? 5 has to be either here or here. We're not sure which. Okay, so what are the possibilities for this, I guess? This is at most 3 and 9, which would make this 5 at least. So this is 5 through 9 here. Um, hmm. Interesting. Okay. These are both pink. These are low. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which makes this 4 at most, or 6, 7, 8. To be next to the 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? So this could be at most 1 and 6, if that's the case. If this is 4 and 5. If this is the case, okay, so 1, 4, and it could be 1, 2, 8. Huh. So then this could be 3 and 4 if that's the case. 1, 2, 8. It would be 3, 4, 9. Okay, so this can never be 1, 2, 8. If this is 1, 2, 8, this would be forced to be 3, or this is 3, 4. If this is 3, 4, this is 9, which would only be consecutive with 8. So you cannot have 1, 2, 8 here. Because again, if this is 1, 2, 8, where the other low ones have to be 3 or 4 here. If this can only be 3 because it's next to 2 unique digits. This would then have to be 8 and 9, and you'd have contradiction there. If you have 1, 3, and 7, that works as long as, so this could be 1, 3, 7. This would have to be 2. Or this could be 2, 4 here, and that's 9. Okay. If this is 1, 3, these can't be consecutive, so this would be 2, 4, right? 1, 3, 7. This would be 2, 4. Okay, so then what are the possibilities? If this is 1, 3, 7, this would have to be... This could not be consecutive, so the 2, 4 would be here. This would be 9, so this would have to be 8. So 1, 3, 7 would force this to be 6. This would be 5. This would be 8. So this 5 would mean this can't be 5, this can't be 5. Therefore, this would be a 3, 5 pair here. Okay. Seems plausible. This is 2 and 4. If that's the case. 1, 3, 7. If you have 1, 4, 6, you have 2 and 3 be consecutive. This would be 5 or 7 if that's the case. You could have 2 here, or this could be 2, 3. 1, 4, and 6. You have 1, 4, 6. It could be next to 5. It could be next to 7. But if you have 2 and 3, 5 would have to be here. So this would be 5 before 6. 1, 4, 6 is here. If we tried to have 2 and 3, this would be 1, 2, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, which would force us to be 3 with either 8 or 9. Oh, that's interesting. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. This would be 3. This would be 4. Ah, and we'd have a contradiction. Okay, so if we try to make these both lows, we can't do 1, 2, 8 because then this 3 require 8 and 9. We tried to have 2 and 3. That makes this 1, 2, which would make this low here a 3, which would make that a 4. But then we already have a 1, 4, 6 here. So this can't be 2 and 3. So I think these have to be high then because of that, right? If you have 2, 3, 6, so we tried 1, 2, 8, that doesn't work. 1, 3, 7 does work as long as these are high. And we tried 1, 4, 6 with 2, 3 here, and that doesn't work. 2, 3, 6 cannot have the 1 and 4 be consecutive, therefore these are both high, and these must be then both lows. So these are both highs here, so a 5 still could be here. So this is valid. This is not 5, this is not. This would have to be 3, this would be 5. This was 1, 3, 7, so this is 2 and 4. This would have to be 6, and this is 5. 1, 4, 6, I think works as long as this is 2 and 3. So this would be 8 or 9, which could be with 7, 8, or 9. 4 and 6 could be with 5 or 7, and this 7, 8, or 9 still works fine. You could have a 5 here. There has to be at least one low here, obviously. It could be 2 lows. We don't know. It could be 1 through 8. And 2, 3, 6 works as long as this is 1, 4. That would force this to be 4, though. Okay. This is low, this is high. And these could actually be 1 here. 2, 3, 6 means this is 5 or 7. You'd have to have 1, 4 here, which makes that a 9. So this is always 8 or 9. So 8 always has to be here, which means this can never be 8. Right? It's either 7, 8, or it's 8, 9. Either way. Since 8 is here, 8 can never be here. For 17, like we've shown, you cannot have 5, 6, and 7 ever add up to. So you always have to have one digit from 1 through 4. So there's at least one digit from that's low here. We're not sure which. You have to also have one high, because you can't have 3, 4, and 5 adding up to 17. So there's always one high here. And we don't know about these. This is the same as that. 17, there's always one high and one low. That's all we know. This is 4. Hmm. This is a high. Okay, these are all highs. That's actually interesting. This can never be a high. If this were a high, the problem is this would also have to be a high, and we'd have 5 highs in um, row 7, which is not possible. So this is always, could be a low or it's a medium. It's a 5, essentially. So this is 1 through 5. This has to have at least 2 lows here because these can't be low. There's only 2 lows here. So two, at least, actually, it has to be exactly 2 lows here. And it could be the 5 with it, or it could be a high digit. We're not sure which. Um, hmm. Can you ever have 2 lows to add up to 17? I think so, right? No. You cannot have 2 lows to add up to 17. 3, that's maximum 3, 4, and 9. But that only adds up to 16. So you have to only have 1 low here. This is 1 low. These cannot be low. This can't be low. Therefore, these must be low. Interesting. And because these must be low, right? We tried to have 3 digits with 2 lows adding up to 17. And this adds up to 17 because this adds up to 28. 45 minus 17 is 28. 28 minus 11 is 17. So trying to add up to 17, you cannot have 2 lows because the maximum is for 2 lows is 3, 4, and 9, which adds up to 16. So this can only be it has to have 1 low, but it cannot have more than 1 low here. Well, these can't be low. This can't be low. Therefore, these are guaranteed to be low. So therefore, this has to be low. Therefore, this is 5 through 9 here. This has to be a low, and it can't be 4, actually. None of these can be 4, because this is at most a low. So this is a low also. So we have a low here, a low here, a low here. The rest of the digits must be 5 through 9. So one of these must be low. And only one of these can be low. It can't be both low here. Therefore, we have a low here, and one of these is low. Therefore, this must be a low. And therefore, this has to be a low. This, again, because of 17, the way that it works, it can never have 2 lows in it to add up to 17. Very clever. So this has to be a 5, which makes this a 5. So this can never be 5. This is a 5. It's next to 4 or 6, which means this cannot be 1, 4, and 6. Actually, it could be 1, 4, and 6. It's 2, 3, and 6, or 1, 4, and 6. Therefore, you cannot have a 6 anywhere there. So this is 7, 8, or 9. So it's 1, 4, 6, or 2, 3, 6. So this can't be 5 or 6. This is a 5. None of these are 5s. This then must be a low with a high digit. Okay. This is a low, so this cannot be 4. This is a low then also. This is at least 3. So this is 3 or 4. Whoops. This is 3 or 4 then also. So this cannot be 1, 2, 8. These are two lows. This is one low with a high. Since one of these is low, one of these is low, you cannot have two lows to add up to 17. This must be a low. So this is 5 through 9 here. This is a low, so it's 1 through 4, 1 through 4 here, 1 through 4. One of these is low, but that's the only thing we know. This can't be 8, because of one of these two must be 8. We have 3 lows here. The remaining digits must be high. This cannot be 1. Okay. So this can't be, this could be 3 with 1. That's fine. So this is a high, and this is a high. We have a 3-9 or 4-8 pair here. Ah, this can never be 4. This can never be 4. This must be a 4-8 pair. So this can't be 8. There's no 8 here. This can't be 8, and this can't be 8. This can't be a 4. We have a 1, 2, 3 triplet in box 8, which eliminates 1, 2, and 3 in the rest of the box. Therefore, this must be a 4. And this cannot be 4. This cannot be 4. This must be a 4 here, which makes this 6. It cannot be 1, 4, and 6. It's 2, 3, and 6. So this is 2, 3. This is a 1, 4 pair, which makes this a 9, which makes that 8, which makes that 7. Because only 4 can only be next to a 9 on a German whisper line. This can't be 2 or 3 or 4. This is a 1 here. This is either 2, 6 or 3, 7 added together. 2, 6 or 3, sorry, 2, 6 or 3, 5, but this can't be 5. This can't be 3. This can't be 1. We have a 2, 3 pair. Either this is 2, 6 or 3, 5. And this is 2 or 3 because it cannot be 4, 9 because that would be 4, 9, and 4 adding up to 17. Therefore, this must be a 4, which makes this a 4. This cannot be 2 and 2. Therefore, it must be 1 and 3 added together to add up to 4. This is a 2. This is a 3. This cannot be 1 or 3. This must be then 2 and 7 together. And this cannot be 2 here. Therefore, this is 7, this is 2. This can't be 2 or 4, this is 3, which makes this 8 or 9. This can't be 7, this can't be 7, and these can't be 7. We have an 8, 9 pair in column 4, which eliminates 8 and 9 the rest of the column. This can't be 8 or 9, so it must be 5, which makes this 6, which makes that 7. That leaves this cannot be 7. We have to have, this can't be 7 or 8 because one of these is 8 or 9. One of these is 8 or 9. Therefore, where is a 5? It has to be here. So this is not 5. This is not 5. This is 4. This cannot be 7 here. This can't be 4. The remaining digits in row 3 are 2, 6, and 9. But 9 can never be here. So if this is 4, this is 2, and this is 5. If this is 6, this is 4, and that's 1. This cannot be 3. Therefore, this is 2, which makes this a 4, because it can't be 3 or 4. This can't be 3 or 4, so this is 2. This can't be 1, 2, or 3, so this is 4. 4 cannot be here anymore. Where is the 4 in row 9? It has to be one of these cells. So since it's one of these cells, it must be with a 9. So one of these two is a 9. So this cannot be 9 here or here, and it cannot be 9 here. Therefore, this is an 8. So this is 8, which means 8 cannot be here. 8 cannot be any of these. 8 can't be here. One of these is 9 to be with a 4. This can't be 4, though. Whereas the 4, it has to be here. So this is 4, which makes that a 9. This 9 is next to 1, 2, or 3. This 1, 2, or 3 can be next to 6, 7, or 8 here. So this is a low. This is high, obviously. This is high. These are high. And this is a high. Well, this can't be 5 anymore because of the 5 here. So this has to be a 5 here. This is a high digit. These can't be 2. This is a high digit. This is a high digit. So this must be low, which makes this a high. And this is a low. Cannot be 2. It's 1 or 3 here. And this can be 6, 7, or 9. This is 6, 7, or 9 here. One of these is a 6. This can't be 6. So either 6 is here or 6 is here, which forces 1 to be one of these, to be on the German whisper line. Therefore, this can't be 1, and it must be 3. So this is 3, this is 1, this is 3. This is a low also. These cannot be 3 here. Therefore, we have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair in column 8, which eliminates 1, 2, the rest of the column. This can't be 2, so this can't be 6. We have, this cannot be 9 here. Well, where is the 9 in row 9? Can't be here. Can't be any of these. It must be here. So this is a 9 here. This cannot be 9 here. This can't be, this 7 means this can't be 7. So this is 9, which makes this 8. This can't be 7. This can't be 9. 6, 7 pair. This can't be 5, so this must be 2 and 6, which forces this to be 3 with 8 or 9. This 6 means this can't be 6, therefore this is 7, which makes that a 6. This must be a 3 as a low, so the other two remaining digits cannot have a 6, it must be 5 with it. 3 has to be here, so this is 3. Neither of these can be 3. This is 3 with 8 or 9. 3, 8 adds up to 11, with 6 adds up to 17. 3, 9 adds up to 12, with 5 adds up to 17. So this is 5 or 6 here. This cannot be 6. It's 3, 5, and 3 and 5 adds up to 8, plus 9. So this must be 3, 5, 9. This 7 means this can't be 7. So this must be 6, which must be next to a 1. Therefore, this is 2 and 7. This can't be 2 or 3, so this is 1. This 2 or 3 must not... This has to be less than that, so this is 3, this is 2, which makes that a 1. Therefore, this is a 2. This 1 means this can't be 1, so this is 5 and 2, so this cannot be a 2 here. This can't be 5 or 9, so this can't be 9 here. This can't be 7. It's a 6, 8 pair, which eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the box. Therefore, this is 7. This cannot be 7 here. Where is the 7 in box 4? It can only be here. So this is 7, which means this cannot be 7. We have a 5, 8, 9 pair in row 6, which eliminates 8 and 9 in the rest of the row. Therefore, this is 5. This is 9. Because 3 and 5 add up to 8, plus 9 is 17. Therefore, this is 8. This is 7. This must be 8 then. So this can't be 8. This is 3. This can't be 3 or 8. This is 9. 3 and 9 add up to 12, with 5 adds up to 17. Therefore, this is 6. This 9 means this is 8, which makes that a 9. This cannot be 8, so this is 6, which makes that 8. This 6 eliminates this 6, which makes that a 9, and therefore that's a 6. That's a 9. We have, what is this remaining digit? It has to be a 8. So we have 8, and therefore these two digits add up to 9. Cannot be 1, 8, cannot be 2, 7, cannot be 4, 5. It's 3 and 6, and this can't be 3 because of this 3. So this is 6, this is 3, And we have a 1 and a 7 remaining. This can't be 7 because of that 7, so this is 1, which makes that 7. This 1 eliminates that 1, so that's a 4, which makes that a 1. This 4 eliminates that 4, so that's an 8, and that's a 4. And that's how you solve it. Yeah, not too bad. Challenging, but the logic was pretty solid actually throughout. The interesting part was basically the 17 cages, or the 17 areas, I should say, because this 28 cage made this a 17 area. These two cages made this a 17 area. You had a 17 cage here, a 17 cage here. And you knew you could not have two lows there. So therefore you have very limited places for the lows. And therefore you knew this had to be a low, this had to be a low. And that was really the key to cracking this. Very interesting logic with the 17 areas, as I said, because you cannot have two lows in the 17 area, and you can't have, but you must have, so you have to have one and only one low in a 17 area cage, or a 17 area which has 3 digits. That's actually a very interesting constraint there. So anytime you have a 17 area made up of 3 unique digits, you must have one and only one digit from 1 through 4. That's fascinating, actually. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.